Do you have one of these 5 deadly signs of low testosterone? Welcome back to the Healthy Aging Report. Today I'm going to talk about something very important to any man above the age of 30. And that is signs that you have unhealthy low levels of testosterone. Testosterone is a hormone that makes you a man. In puberty, we get it released and we develop our secondary sex traits. Beards, muscles, all that stuff. Well, I've got some concerning news. Recently, the New England Research Institutes conducted a study on 1,882 men, and they found that 1 in 4 of these men who are aged 30 to 79 had low levels of testosterone. Yes. And what's even more concerning is that the levels that they considered low were, in my opinion, already very, very low. Total of 300 nanograms, basically. Just to give you a perspective, when you're 18, you can have anywhere from 900 to 1,000, 11,000, 1,200 nanograms per deciliter. So this is, number one, concerning, and the fact is that there are probably a lot more men out there than just 1 in 4 that have what I would consider low testosterone. Okay, so how do you know if you have low testosterone? If you have any of these 5 warning signs, there's a strong possibility that you do, especially if you're over the age of 30. It can happen to people younger, but definitely over the age of 30. The number one thing that you're going to notice is a loss of libido. You know, as a man, libido is what gives you the drive to procreate. If you lose this drive, then you've probably got something going on that needs to be fixed. And low testosterone is the number one culprit for this. Not only can it make you feel bad, but it can also make your wife or girlfriend feel terrible. Because if they don't feel wanted, then they get anxiety, they feel depressed, they feel like something's wrong with them, and then they blame the cause of that, which is you. And then what they want to do is alienate themselves from you and look for things that make them feel better and feel like a woman. And unfortunately, if you have a loss of libido, they might start to look elsewhere. Okay, the second sign, and this is the big one, loss of energy. A lot of people don't even realize this. They'll blame it on work, blame it on not getting enough sleep, but in all reality, it's probably more than likely low testosterone. If you don't have the energy to work out, then you become inactive. And if you become inactive, then your chances of dying prematurely go way up. In fact, in a study from 2001 to 2011, researchers found out that 8% of the total premature deaths in the United States, people over the age of 40, were caused and due to inactivity. That's huge. So if you don't have the energy to work out, you're going to be inactive, and you're potentially putting yourself in harm's way for developing some very serious diseases, heart-related, diabetes, whatever it may be, that can lead to premature death. Number 3, loss of muscle mass. This one's huge. After the age of 30, you will lose between 3 to 5% of your muscle mass. They estimate that by the time you die, you could have lost around 30% of your total muscle mass. That's huge. It just so happens that Harvard Medical Institute thinks that there is a strong correlation between low testosterone levels and loss of muscle mass after 30. Well, duh. Your muscles have androgen receptors. They respond to testosterone that's broken down in the body, and then that's what tells them to replicate, grow, get bigger, and get stronger. All right, let's look at the fourth deadly sign you may have low testosterone levels. That is fat gain. If you are finding it difficult to lose body fat, or if you're gaining body fat for no reason and you haven't changed up your diet, chances are you probably have low testosterone, especially if you're over the age of 30. 30! Not 40, not 50, not 60, but 30. Now here's some more disturbing news. The more body fat you gain, the more likely you are to keep gaining body fat. Because what happens is that body fat is like a sponge. Not only does it absorb toxins, but it also absorbs estrogen. Heck, it can even release more estrogen into your bloodstream. And when you have more estrogen entered into your bloodstream, then you tend to store more body fat. It's a vicious cycle that it's hard to stop, especially if you have low testosterone. In fact, researchers have discovered that besides bariatric surgery, which, hey, if you want to cut out half of your stomach, third of your stomach, whatever it is, by all means go ahead. But besides bariatric surgery, testosterone therapy is the most effective long-term way that you can manage and lose body fat. That's huge. That is huge, and it makes sense. Testosterone is what makes men muscular and lean. All right, now on to the fifth deadly sign. And this is the big one. A lot of men don't even know it. Mood or depression. The sad thing is that there's a reason why depression is diagnosed so low in men. It's because most men don't even know that they have low testosterone or they're depressed. Well, we all know what happens when you're depressed. You feel bad, you don't want to talk to anybody. When you have low testosterone, testosterone is what gives you that fight response. It's what makes prevent you from throwing in the towel. It's what makes you get up every time you're knocked down. It gives you the motivation to love life, to help others, to stand up for what you believe is right, to question what you're told. That's testosterone. And when you don't have it, you don't have that luster for life. You just kind of float through until you die. And who wants to live like that? You're a man. Show the world you're a man. Leave an impact. Use your testosterone for good. Now, what do you do if you think you have low testosterone and you have one of these 5 signs? You can go to your doctor, do some blood work, get a metabolic panel, test for testosterone, test for SBHG levels. I highly recommend doing that. I do it myself 3-4 times a year. If you don't want to go to your doctor or you already know you have low testosterone, and you don't want to do testosterone replacement therapy prescribed by the doctor, you can do something like a test booster. I like Test Supply by Muscle Metabolics. This thing is awesome. I know a ton of people that have used it and love it. Can tell a difference in libido, energy, almost within less than 2 weeks. And then, of course, boron. I highly recommend boron. Studies have clinically proven that boron can increase your unbound testosterone by over 30% and decrease your estrogen. And as we talked earlier, estrogen makes you fat. And if you keep getting it, you enter that vicious cycle. Now, another thing that's important too, again about SBHG, we talked about before, but that prevents your testosterone from being used by the body. So when you not only have testosterone, you have what they call free testosterone or unbound testosterone. And usually it's only about 1 or 2%. It gets smaller as we age because SBHG also increases as you get older. So think about it. You got a double-edged sword attacking your testosterone. You get more SBHG after the age of 30, and you decrease less testosterone. So now you have even less than you think you have that's usable for your body. This is where boron comes in. I use 3 capsules a day, which is about 9 milligrams for life extension. Works great. I'll also leave the links to these 2 products. If you want to try Muscle Metabolics, is Test Supply. Use code HEALTHYAGING at checkout for 20% off. Boron is so inexpensive. You can get a bottle, 100 capsules for less than $8, especially life extensions, which uses B2 with it, which is important because you take more boron. Boron competes with B2 for absorption. That's why they've included 25 milligrams of B2 per capsule. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you like the content, you want to hear more about this stuff, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. That's how YouTube's algorithm works. Check out the website, healthyagingreport.com. Let me know what you think, and if you want me to cover any other topics, please, by all means, let me know. Thanks again, and until next time, peace!